What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TV Toycast YouTube channel. And today we are unboxing the new Simpsons Jakks Vampire Burns Deluxe figure.
I don't get it. They should be here by now.
What are you gonna do?
The Simpsons line is so much fun. I'm really excited to get these. These are kind of a hard one to find, these deluxe figures, not really showing up in stores too much. As you can see, Amazon order. That's a sign of an Amazon order if there ever was one right there, man. Beat up box, but I was okay. I was okay with it. I was happy to get it. Of course, we got Vampire Burns there on the side. I love the Treehouse of Horror episodes of The Simpsons. I always have. From back when I was a kid, like when that, even if it was like a rerun and that howling sound came up, or Marge or Homer came up on the stage to warn you, I was like, oh man, it's going to be a good one. And Vampire Burns, one of the cool characters there. Of course, he comes with this coffin, UV activated. These, of course, are a little bit more of a higher price point, but they come with extra stuff. So, again, what do they say? You got to vote with your wallet, right? Nice picture of Vampire Burns there. Really big box. I remember when they announced these, and Furious Homer was actually like the second video I ever did here on the channel. So check that out in the archives. But when they announced these, I remember thinking like, oh man, these are going to be bigger than the basic size figures, because there's the 2.5 inch line, and then they said the 4 inch line and the 5 inch line, and I was like, oh what? But it turns out the 4 and 5 inch line were all kind of the same scale, and they just labeled them differently, or that's what someone had said, and everyone believed it, and what have you. But I'm glad that these are all in scale, because I love all these. We just saw an announcement for Series 3, where we're going to have Home Run Homer, Marge with Maggie, Milhouse, and Lenny, which is awesome. And then one of my friends, Coach Doggins, actually mentioned Lenny. He's like, wow, that's kind of a deep cut for early on. I'm like, that's true, but so is Otto. So is Groundskeeper Willie. I think that's what's fun about this line, is throwing in those characters that you wouldn't necessarily expect in the first or second wave, but that's what makes it fun. I do have Radioactive Man. He'll be coming up very soon here on the channel. And I also found the Series 2 Lisa Simpson. Haven't found Krusty or Mo yet, so if you have a lead on those, let me know. I'm looking for Krusty and Mo. I have a feeling, based upon Series 1, they will not be hard to find. But as you all probably know, with any toy line, you just never know. Sometimes they're plentiful, sometimes they're impossible. And that's something you'll hear me say a lot. Plentiful or impossible. And I made it up right here on the spot, because that's what I do. But I remember when Bartman hit, which was a Walmart exclusive, everyone was going crazy for Bartman, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, pick me up one so you can mail it to me, because I may not find it. I think my Walmart has had probably 50 Bartmans since then, and I'm not exaggerating. Every time I go, there's like 20 Bartmans on the pegs. So you never know with that distribution. It's a wild thing. And I remember several figures when I was a kid that I just never saw. Like, I remember several waves of Hasbros I never saw. And I always wondered, I'm like, I wonder if my Walmart just didn't get them. Like, I'd see them on the back of the packaging, never saw them. And, granted, when you're a kid, you're not driving or anything like that, and you're at the mercy of your parents, because you can't just go to Walmart like a lot of us toy collectors do nowadays, where we just go whenever, especially if there's something we're looking for, we go more often than most. And that's that. Big box there, obviously, for not the biggest figure, but that's all right. And look at there. That's actually kind of cool. You can kind of display it like this, I guess. It does kind of lean forward, but it does stay in there, so that's interesting. I think these have an action. So he pops in there, I think. Oh, there we go. Well, mine's broken, apparently. It does not work very good. Here we go. Let's see. Let's get his arms in. Get that vampire pose with those crazy Burns fingers. Okay. Don't try this at home, kids. I am a professional. Holy crap. This thing is giving me trouble. Well, that's not the most articulated looking figure, as you can see. Literally just that. And, not much to it. That's all right. I remember he stands up good. That's all that matters. We'll give him in the shot. How about that? You get the Burns coffin. The coffin's probably the coolest thing about this. It fits on there nicely. So, I guess it just depends on how you display this. I think kind of like this would be the coolest way. Let's see if we can get it in the camera shot once again. As a way to display Burns there. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe, focus the camera so he's in the shot. There we go. I'm learning. I'm getting better. But, yeah, right there. Not bad. Not a bad look. But, yeah, that's the action. I guess he has glow-in-the-dark skin. A little greenish tint to him. So I guess you could see that. Can you see it through the... Does it work? Maybe a little. I don't know. But might help if I didn't have a big light right shining right on him. I don't know. But a fun idea. I mean, I don't know if this is totally necessary. The idea, I will show you the mechanism here. So you raise them up, drop them down. Raise them up, drop them down. So if I can get him to stay on said mechanism, this should work out fantastically. It didn't work out before because he came crashing down. Down. And up. Down. Up. I kind of went slow, which had the creaking sound too. That was not intentional. It just happened. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you got to be a man. It don't help to hide unless you're Vampire Burns. Now let's try this. I lay him down. Put this on him. Nightmare fuel if there ever was one right there. That's kind of squared up. Oh my gosh. Talk about creeping out people. This is cool though. This is a cool figure. Like I said, I've always loved the Treehouse of Horror line. I always thought it was fun. Not line, the series, the television specials that they would do as part of the season. In fact, Halloween this past year, someone at work had told me that Hulu had, or no, I'm sorry, not Hulu. Disney Plus had all the Treehouse of Horror episodes in a playlist, so you could watch from the first one to the most current. And I'm like, genius idea. I want to do this. I want to watch all of these. That's my thinking, right? Here was the problem with that. While they did have that, and that was true, when you started the first one, you watched it, it didn't go to the next Treehouse of Horror. It went to the next episode of the season, so you had to stop it, take it back, go back to where you were, and start the next one, which I know is not a lot of work, but it's like, it reminds, I don't know if you, back in the day when, like, if you were watching a TV show on DVD after, like, 5 or 6 episodes, you had to, like, get up, pop the DVD out, put the new DVD in. It's like, no, this ain't 2008. I ain't doing this no more. We're in the world of streaming. Let's make it easy. It's weird how things have changed so much in such a short amount of time. Just things like getting on the internet or something, or even like YouTube. A lot of you guys might be watching this on your phone. Back in the day, like, you had to use a laptop. Such a weird time, such a weird thing to think, right? But here we are, and I've got a YouTube channel. Never would have thought this, but here we are. But I like this Vampire Burns. It's really cool. It's a cool figure. I love the coffin accessory. Let's talk about the price point. The regular Simpsons line retails for about $12.99 at Target or Walmart. So, I think pretty affordable based on what figures cost these days. Should they be cheaper? Yeah, probably, but we all know action figures are just expensive. I try not to complain about it too much because it just is what it is. No one's forcing me to buy it, and that just, I choose to, even though I know they're expensive, because things are just expensive nowadays. Fast forward with this line being $12.99, the basic line, that's a lot cheaper than most things in the industry. Now, this figure retailed for about $24.99. I did purchase all 3 of these on Amazon. They were at one point all on Big Bad, but like I said, I've never seen these in stores. I'm sure some specialty shops have them. I've heard of some people finding them at GameStop, but I've never seen them at Target, and I've never seen them at Walmart, where the other lines are usually pretty plentiful at Target and Walmart. So your mileage may vary there a little bit as to what you're finding. 25, is it a little much? Sure. But, you think about it, it's kind of like, well, Vampire Burns, I mean, does he need the coffin? No. But if you just had this figure by itself and you take this thing away, it's not nearly as good. Now, granted, I'm not a big, like, a person that needs a lot of accessories. I'm okay with just the figure. But that is a pretty cool piece. And so getting that, I'm like, you know what? That is kind of fun. I dig it. It's cool. It's a really cool Halloween decoration. So, your mileage may vary. Is this one you need? And you might look at this and be like, you know what, I'm good on the vampire burns. I want the regular burns. And I get that too, because we are starting to see the variants pop out, right? We saw Bartman, of course. We've now seen a Homer, another Homer that's exactly the same. We've seen Furious Homer. Now we have Home Run Homer. Do you need Home Run Homer? That's kind of a personal decision. Me personally, absolutely. Got to get it. But I could see as the line progresses being like, okay, I don't need every single version of Homer. I don't need every single version of Bart, and so on, etc. I know Playmates did that a lot. We saw, I remember Casual Homer was one where he was just in his underwear. We had Sunday Best Homer where he was in his suit and tie. And I know there was Boxing Homer, which is an exclusive. There was the Pin Pal Homer from his bowling team, the Pin Pals. What an episode that was. So stuff like that. I mean, I think it depends on was it fun for you? Did you enjoy it at the time? Because you may not necessarily be like, oh, I got to have that. It might be like, I'm good. But, again, vote with your wallet, right? Find stuff that makes you happy. Find your joy. If it's something you want, grab it. If not, I'm good with that. I don't necessarily need that. Because I think that's the key to any toy collection. And I'm sure as this line progresses and gets bigger, which I can only imagine will get massive because The Simpsons has such a wide array of characters, we're going to see a lot of that where it's like, you know what, I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to pass on that because I want just the new characters. I don't need all these Homers. I don't need all these Barts. But that being said, all the Halloween ones will definitely be ones I grab. I would love a Donut Head Homer. I would love a King Kong Homer. I think they did some type of a doll with that. And I know they've done a Funko Pop with that. Fly Bart, where he was like the fly boy, like he turns into the fly or something. Or Hugo, the evil twin that lived in the basement and ate fish heads or something. There's a lot of stuff they could do. So hopefully we'll see more and more of that with the Jakks line. Because it seems to be doing well. A lot of people seem to be into it. And anytime I see figures, they tend to move at my target. And I do pay attention. Do you guys pay attention to that? I always pay attention to what's moving and what's setting. What figures are selling and what figures are just setting and warming those pegs. There is a Count Nefaria and a Whiplash from that Iron Man retro wave on my pegs at Walmart that have been there for probably 6 months. Haven't moved. And I do want those, but I'm like, I think I can get those on clearance, and so I'm not worried about it. And I also, I play the long game when it's not necessary. If I never get them, I'm like, no big deal. But if I can get them for 15, I'm like, okay, I'll pull the trigger. You gotta play the long game sometimes. It's all about saving a few bucks whenever you can. There you go, Vampire Burns from the Simpsons Jakks line. I like it. I think it's a cool figure. It's not the most dynamic figure in the world, but I love the accessory. It is really cool. The coffin with the mobility to it, I dig it. It's cool. And getting more Halloween characters is something I'm going to want. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out my other TB Toycast unboxing videos. Got a lot up there, including one I did just the other day, Spawn, Retro Spawn, Medieval Spawn from the Retro Spawn line. Really, really cool figure, and it was really fun to dive into the retro style figures. So check that one out. And check out the TB Toycast podcast. Every Thursday we have a different main event, as well as talking news, pickups, and things that generally just have us excited, including an episode we talked about a while back, which was Total Justice. Do you guys remember Total Justice? What a line that was. Man, I would love to unbox Total Justice on here because those were so much fun from Kenner, mid-90s, very 90s superhero figures. Oh, those were so cool. I remember seeing those and just wanting them so badly because I thought they were amazing. Never had any as a kid. I do have a couple now, but I think I bought them loose, so I may have to buy some carded one just for the fact of doing a YouTube channel. Makes you want to buy it MOC, just so you can open it up. But that's all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. Easy for me to say. Make sure to like, subscribe. Let people know you like the videos. Share it if you can on Facebook, Instagram, the X, wherever your social media platform of choice is. And I appreciate it. Thank you all very much. I see new views all the time, so I know people that are constantly checking it out, and I do appreciate that very, very much. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's Vampire Burns. This is the TB Toycast YouTube channel, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top.
It'll be open.
And I can
It
shut
might
down the
be in
shop.
the ring.
Randy Savage, I'm the